Namaskar, good morning. Why every country should have the space agency? This is the question. And I raised this question when Agenda 21 was released by United Nations in 1992. Because if we achieve sustainability, at that time they used to call what we call sustainable development goals nowadays, on Mother Earth, and at that time the Cold War was going to end just I mean it's 1991. USSR broke and everybody knows that. Now, are we going to create such situation wherever we may go? On Mother Earth, we are creating Cold War, MAD, mutual assured destruction, and all those things. Similarly, are we going to do the same thing wherever we may go? Moon, Mars, beyond, infinite universes, infinite celestial bodies, infinite dimensions. So that's why, if only few countries having space agency and all the countries have space agencies, it will make a difference. Because as we know, the global competition, the more the competition, the better the technology, and all those good things will come up. All 8 billion minds now, if the whole population is thinking on that how can we can develop the human civilization, how everybody can be happy. Sarve Pisugana Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha. I mean, such concepts are there. Heaven on earth is there. If some other planet looks at Earth, because life exists everywhere. I have the proof, everybody has the proof. The people are not accepting the higher bodies. It doesn't mean that, the extraterrestrial life doesn't exist. Life exists everywhere. It exists on sun, it exists everywhere. Take my word, because millions of people have seen it. So I also have seen it. You may feel those people mad or something, but it is not like that. Earlier, our technology couldn't detect the microbes. When the microscope came, then they accepted it. Like that, this is the reality we are going to accept someday, sometime. Now, if we have the space age technologies and space agencies in each country, then what will happen? That country will become powerful in technological front. Then they will not only launch the rockets and the satellites, but the complete supply chain, economics, and will become. They will grow. New technologies they will grow. Their technology will evolve. Security infrastructure will build up, science and technology starts built up, commercial activities will increase on those things, arts will increase, people will talk about peace and prosperity. There will be, that country will have the global influence as well. That country will have economic advantage. For example, NASA and ISRO, you might be knowing, they have NASA is almost $100 billion turnover, and they have revenue generation, tax generation, and a lot of things are there. There are job creations are there. It helps build a GNP, GDP, and it influences a lot of people in next generation. And return on investment is always better if you talk about economics. If you talk about technology, there are a lot of spin-offs. For example, ball pen, all these things which have been developed there, Teflon. Then so many things have been developed in space, and that have been percolated to the in the kitchen as well. Teflon is used in frying pan, for example. Just example. Then right from screw, basic technology to middle technology to space age technology, there will be a lot of spin-offs. There will be a lot of micro industries to the top graded big industries will be developing. Even R&D centers, consultancies, so many things will be developed. A lot of job creations will be there. So Agenda 21, because they are talking about sustainable development goals. Now we have 17 sustainable development goals. We will be able to take advantage of this space age technology over that. I think once I calculated, I mean, there are people who say only 40% of the sustainable development goals, 40% out of 18 for the 72, for example. It means almost 8 goals are dependent on space technology. I don't believe that. All the goals are, are get affected by space technology, because satellite data tells us where the crops can be grown. Now the food is major thing in our life. It is the satellite data only decided that honeybees are the most important creature, the species for human civilization, because they help growing the pollination, and plants and food are grown, for example. So it is 100% spaces technology will help all the countries, each country specifically, because if you have your own data, you can use it properly. Other countries' data, they will give you specific data only. But if you have whole and soul data of your own country, via your own satellite, via your own technologies, then you can access the whole data. Then industrial spin-off. For example, we are talking about that ball pen, all those things. Then solar panels, everybody knows. Then CT scan machines, cordless tools, satellite TV, water purification, so many things. Then, for example, that ISS moves at 28,000 kilometers per hour, for example. Its GPS location is always known. So that GPS location has come into the mobile phones nowadays. Then commercials boost is there, we already see. Then even private companies may start. So I mean, why only Israel and NASA should do all the work? Why not private companies come up? Job generations are there, new thinking, new technologies. They might be able to think what they have not thought over, or they might be able to work on those things on which they cannot invest time or money, because they are limited people. Somebody said government cannot give jobs to everyone. Then private companies should come up and develop. I mean, that's the best solution. So there are so many ways, in fact. Then, if the whole economic engines are running on space technologies, then agriculture technology. Those questions are also we are going to develop. I mean, think about agriculture for space technology. That will be the next question that we are going to talk about. Space age technology, 1969 we were able to land on moon. After that, why didn't we landed on moon? And by now we will have a million people living on the moon by now. It should have happened in 50 years. Because you see, one small example. Somebody discovers one island via ship. They go, oh, that is a beautiful island. Within 5 years, that island is inhabited by the humans. So that is the way human beings work. So by now we should have gone to Mars and their colonies should have been built by now. But no, it didn't happen. It means we are not investing time on this, money on this, but we are investing time and money on wars. $1.3 trillion on F-22. Just one example. I am not blaming USA. Similar cases are there in France, India, China, all powerful countries. They are investing so much money on defense. What kind of defense you require? Defense against human being? Hurting human beings? And how can we become supreme beings then? Are we going to fight wars for millions of years? Are we not going to evolve further? Okay, so space agency also gives security. It may happen, for example, now if you talk about national security, that is there, okay. Then spy satellites are there and all those things are there. It could happen, take my word, that if all the nations have their own satellites, cameras and all those things and space agencies, it may happen that a 10-year-old boy will detect something which we were not be able to do. It may happen that a space agency in Zimbabwe or Zaire or Uganda or Kenya or India, Australia, New Zealand, European Space Agency, JAXA, or Argentina, or Brazil, or any space agency may detect something which NASA, ISRO, and best of the best European agencies and all best of the best space agencies missed. It may happen because many a times it is not always the technology comes from the best places. It could come from the basic places as well. Not the best, but basic. Those who don't have fundamental technology or infrastructure, they might be able to develop such concept which might revolutionize the space industry and agencies. They can develop something which will help us to establish our colony on Moon, Mars, and beyond. Because sooner or later we are going to be 10 billion people. For need of every human being, everything is there on Mother Earth. But for greed, there are greedy people. They want to go this place, that place. They want to do this and that. So even greed of human beings will also be satisfied. For example, if that is a limited greed, going to Moon, Mars, or beyond can be a high profile greed as well. Somebody wants to bring, there are a lot of diamonds on that meteor, bring it over here, we'll sell diamond, will become rich or something like that. There will be such kind of people, definitely. But when we think about limited people, because there might be some 1,000 people like that, but we are talking about 8 billion, 10 billion people. They might get advantage of this. We'll be able to generate self-land, self-resisting system, so that we'll be able to live better life. Everybody has water, education, healthcare, and all those things like sustainable developments. From on here as well as any place wherever we may go. Celestial bodies, dimensions, spaces, so many places. And right now we are not accepting there are infinite dimensions and infinite celestial bodies and infinite universes. But soon we'll be able to do that, because we'll have that kind of technology. And already spy satellites have been used by so many countries against each other. Why not we use the same brains, similar technology for betterment of human civilization? If each country has a space technology, space age industry, then it gives them strategical autonomy. They will be able to use data of their own country. We have seen that for their own sovereignty and development. Then their universities, their scientists, their government will be able to develop the scientific leadership. Then technopreneurs, technological leadership also will be developed. Fundamental science knowledge will be will be percolated at the nursery level. Then there could be possibility that the spin-offs are there. If you develop one technology, spin-offs are there. Like that, a pipeline can be built. Somebody will develop this, somebody will develop this, somebody will develop this, somebody will launch, somebody will develop only fuel, something like that. So somebody will, that kind of cohesiveness will come. There, everybody knows an example that one of the medicine was developed in the zero gravity. So health, care and medicine, so all these things will be able to develop. I didn't patented almost 2,000 technologies. One of the technology was telehaptic robotic surgery technologies. You feel the sensation of this much sensation, right? 10,000 kilometers away, and you will be able to, that robot will be able to do the surgery. Because I felt that telehaptic robotic surgery remotely done will be useful. Somebody from USA will be able to do the surgery maybe in a remote island. Okay, That's not issue, because humanity first. Robotic surgery, then vaccine development, then how the if the bone loss is there, then how to recover in, these things were developed in international space stations. So healthcare and medicines will be able, they will be able to develop. So international space station is there, every country has their own space station. In place of that, everybody coming and developing a bigger space station and doing research. All countries, if there are 165 countries properly working in United Nations, there are 193 countries listed in United Nations, and there are countries which are not listed. They claim they are sovereign state. 208 countries that are there. 210, someone said. They said we are independent nation. So okay, all 210 nations are there, for example, and they have their space agencies. And they should also have the agricultural self-reliance as well. That next question we'll see. So having space agency is also a kind of a prestige, status symbol for every country. And supply chain, and pipeline of development, and the spin off and all those things are, what super that country will be. Every country can become a developed nation having taken care of environmental issues as well. What a fantastic thing that will be. Then, if almost 200 nations have space age technology, they are thinking independently, having diverse and diversion and diversified technologies are there. They will be able to collaborate. You do this, you do that, and all 200 nations and so many even private companies, they are working on this. Oh, fantastic! Within 25 years, we will have Mars base and Moon base. Even we'll be able to develop sustainable development goals on Mother Earth. Then already we discussed that how all the sustainable development goals are dependent on space age technology, right? From climate change, disaster management, deforestation. Then there are so many issues are there environmental. Another side of thing is that if you have space agencies, then culture is developed. Society becomes scientific society, logical thinking. Everything comes into picture. Personality development. Everything comes into picture. Then we will be able to take disaster management, climate monitoring, inspiration for education. Already I've seen. Quality of life will be improved. I mean, generation from to generation, it will be improving. I mean, within 1,000 years, we'll have human bases on so many planets and so many stars and so many places, because we are working unitedly for the one cause: sustainability and survival of the human civilization on Mother Earth, on Moon, Mars, and beyond. So, when I was discussing all these things, people said, "Man, this is the question. This is raised during my presentation. In our continent," he said about Europe, "we have different language, we have different nation." He said that. So how can we survive together? I said, come to India, we have more than 5,000 language, recorded languages. We stay together. So like that, if India can do, then in fact, America became the melting pot of technologies. And in company, I worked in a company where people from 107 countries were working. So it's possible. For company they can work. Why cannot for such a big cause? We should be able to inspire people, and we should be able to live for the better cause. So by that way, at macro level and MAC or macro level to micro level, we will be able to live a better life. And so all the barriers, like earlier Cold War are there, hot war are there, nowadays a lot of wars are going on. We should be able to contain them. We should be able to stop them so that we can really do what is we are speaking. I'm not the person who develops sustainable development goals. I'm not the person who develops सर्वेपि सुखिनः सन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखम् आपनुयात्. It is since generations human beings, human civilization are thinking, but now it is time we should be able to achieve it. So, if we are fighting, that is a red flag. If we are working together, that's a good thing to do. So, human civilization will be the most powerful civilization ever existed if we are able to do this. Having established, working, and better space agency in every nation, in any nation, in every nation. And what more we want? Peace, prosperity, human civilization, every human being will be the supreme being. We should start to become supreme being and evolve as a supreme being and not devolve as a devilish being. That is the red flag. Devilish being is a red flag, fighting and all those things. Supreme being taking care of all species, whole Mother Earth. Wherever we go, moon will be able to take care of moon as well. Otherwise, we are destroying and we are creating, like we have so many environmental catastrophe problems are there on Mother Earth. We should not repeat those things over there. So, finally, I would say that it is best to live in our best way, best mode, so that we'll be able to do and contribute in the best way, so that human civilization survives, sustain forever. Otherwise, we have the example of dinosaur. If we try to outsmart nature, then helping nature, then we might be outsmarted by the nature. So let us go cohesively with the nature and establish our civilization through space agencies. Each nation or private bodies are so many things, and think unitedly, harmoniously, peacefully for this. That is the only thing I can say. So later on, I went on to publish Mobility of Engineers in the Interstellar Era and Mobility of Best Fit Engineers in the Interstellar Era. 2004 I proposed, and 2006 and 2007 they were published. But since 1992 I am saying this. 1988 once I proposed this and nobody listened to me. Being I was just in 87 something, just a 12th grader. But as an expert, I am requesting this to each and every human being. Please accept my request and let us work on this. Thank you very much. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.